If a woman is single, she's probably the problem, because a woman can get a man like that.
Facts.
Right? A woman can just be like, I want you. No, I want you. A woman can pick and choose a man. Like, as sick as that sounds, women know we have the option. So the fact that women choose to be single, or they tell themselves they're choosing to be single, they're the problem. And most men that are single have experienced women who cannot take accountability in a relationship. It takes so much strength to take accountability. It takes so much willingness to change. It takes so much. It takes so much just confidence to be able to tell yourself, hey, like, I know I can be better. Like, this is not my higher self. But guess what? There's women out there really telling themselves, this is my higher self. This is me. This is my best self. Like, what?
Facts.
Really? Really, bro?
For a long time, conversations about the state of modern dating tended to focus almost entirely on men's shortcomings. More recently, however, more women have begun reflecting on the role their own decisions may have played in today's dating environment. Whether women agree with those conclusions or not, the conversation itself is becoming much harder to ignore. Today, we'll look at why these discussions are gaining momentum and what they could mean for the future of dating. Stay until the end as we examine several examples that have sparked widespread debate.
The saddest reality is when a man makes money, his biggest dream is to give it to the people he loves, starting with his wife. And when a woman makes money, her biggest dream is to be independent, keep it to herself, and spend it on herself. She doesn't even want a husband then. She just wants to be free.
Many women embrace the idea that financial independence alone could replace the value of a healthy relationship. For some, that belief encouraged a series of short-term choices that ultimately failed to deliver the long-term fulfillment they expected. As the years pass, some are beginning to question whether those priorities actually served them well. Reflection often arrives long after the excitement has faded.
If a woman's like, I can get all these guys to sleep with me, she's probably right. If you say, can you get any of these guys to commit to you? She's going to think because she fucked a 10 that she can get a 9 to commit to her. And often, most of the time, that's not correct. The top 100th of 1% of women, those women are going to be able to get anyone they want, anytime they want. I'm just talking about in general. A lot of women, what'll happen is they'll get older, they'll turn 33, 34, and they're still really physically attractive. And then they'll try to get a guy to marry them that has been pursuing them for a long time. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'm cool for sex, but I'm not going to marry you.
Dating has gradually become far more complicated than it once was. Many men believe expectations surrounding income, height, education, lifestyle, and status have continued to rise, while genuine compatibility has become less important. When standards become increasingly difficult to satisfy, fewer men are willing to participate. That reality affects both men and women alike.
I realise that a lot of women don't want partnerships or marriage. They want an aesthetic of a commitment without the responsibility of it. A wedding, not a marriage. But then on the flip side, men say they want submissive women as long as she stays quiet and available. So we've now reduced relationships to transactions. I mean, if this is how people see love nowadays, I'm really not surprised nothing lasts.
Some men believe that many relationships begin with women presenting an idealized version of themselves, rather than who they truly are. When everyday reality replaces the early excitement, disappointment often follows. Authenticity is becoming more valuable than carefully managed first impressions. More men are deciding they'd rather stay single than commit under false expectations.
I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud. The majority of women are addicted to blaming everything on men. Let me explain. Women will be in relationships with a man, and if there's somehow any kind of breakdown in communication or any failure to communicate, then the assumption is that a man should have just known what she meant, or he should have just read between the lines, and somehow the breakdown or the failure in communication is his fault. Women will give imaginary roles to men. So if, for example, they will get into relationships expecting men to worship them and basically make them feel better about themselves. So when a woman doesn't feel good about herself, then it's automatically a man's fault. The thought process there is like, I don't feel good about myself, so what did you do wrong? Another example of this is how women are in relationships without ever communicating their needs, but expecting men to just know what their needs are. So maybe that man meets like 10 of her needs, but he meets 3 of them. So he doesn't meet all of her needs. So now she's criticizing him and still blaming him for not knowing what her needs are, even though she never communicated what those needs were in the first place.
Communication continues to be one of the biggest challenges in modern relationships. Instead of clearly expressing expectations, many women assume their partner should already understand what they need. Misunderstandings become inevitable when conversations never happen. Healthy relationships usually begin with honest communication rather than silent assumptions.
Women are so emotional, we need emotion. We need it. And a man that is not as emotionally available will give room for this woman to feel how she wants to feel without a man getting in the way of that. Literally. A woman wants to feel how she wants to feel, whether it's good, bad, whatever it is. If she's expressing it to you, you're a lucky man because she's being vulnerable. She's, giving herself to you. She's expressing, that's a vulnerability in a woman. And we don't necessarily want the same vulnerability from men. We want just enough. Just enough, meaning we want you to just listen. Listen. Just listen. You don't have to feel. You don't have to be presently emotionally available, per se.
Emotional conflict has also become more difficult to navigate. Instead of resolving disagreements through calm discussion, many arguments quickly become centered around emotion rather than solutions. That often prevents both people from addressing the actual issue. Productive conversations require accountability from everyone involved.
Women are emotional. If you're going to deal with women, they are going to be emotional. Some more so than others, but that's how they come. Their emotions they're going to run their logic through their emotions. Even the smartest of them. That's how they come.
Many men say they hesitate to be emotionally vulnerable because they fear their honesty could later be used against them. Whether that fear is justified or not, it has changed how many approach relationships today. As a result, emotional restraint has replaced emotional openness for a growing number of men. That shift has consequences for both sides.
I went on a date a couple weeks ago, and the guy was so nice. He was so nice, so put together, and I hate him.
Like, I think he's an awesome guy, and maybe I'll see him again, but I just think he might be a little too nice for me, which, again, there's nothing wrong with that, and, that's usually the dream, but he also really loves dogs. He's close with his family. He likes to travel. He's been solo traveling. We were there for 2.5 hours. Complete gentleman, paid for everything. I did my usual, do you want to split the bill? Of course he said no, and he paid for my Uber home, and it was nice. It was nice to be on a date with a good New York guy again. So I'll let you guys know if we see him again.
Women often say they want kindness, loyalty, and stability in a partner. Yet when those qualities appear, attraction sometimes seems to be directed elsewhere. Actions frequently reveal priorities more clearly than words ever can. That's one reason many men now focus more on behavior than promises.
A lot of men seem to be saying is that women want to be treated like a princess, which we do. I would fully admit I do. And women want to be adored and cherished. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, this is the but, and that's absolutely fine. But it's not a one-way street. If you want to be treated like a princess, then you've essentially got to treat your man like a prince, or practically king, whatever you want to use.
Many women have pursued greater equality in careers and personal independence. Yet debates continue over whether expectations inside relationships have evolved at the same pace. Some men feel traditional responsibilities are still expected from them despite changing social norms. That perceived imbalance continues to fuel disagreement. Both expectations and responsibilities tend to work best when they evolve together.
Women are bailed out of every single bad decision we make. If we want to sleep around, there's birth control. If birth control doesn't work, there's abortion. And if the girl gets pregnant and wants to keep it, she can put the dude on child support and not even let him see the kids. Like what? A guy gets 6 days a month if he's lucky? And if all else fails, we can just put it up for adoption. What incentive do we have if women are bailed out of everything?
Even with greater opportunities than previous generations, poor relationship decisions still carry lasting consequences. Some women eventually find themselves raising children alone, while hoping someone else will step into responsibilities they previously rejected. Every decision comes with trade-offs, whether they are recognized immediately or years later. Personal accountability becomes increasingly difficult to avoid over time.
Highest divorce rates, 2 women. Lowest divorce rates, 2 men. Highest rates of domestic violence, 2 women. Lowest rates of domestic violence, 2 men. 75 to 80% of divorces filed by women. Top reasons: boredom, unhappiness, no longer compatible.
At the center of these conversations is a broader question about accountability. More women are beginning to recognize that healthy relationships require self-awareness, mutual respect, and consistent effort from both individuals. Blaming one side alone rarely produces lasting solutions. The men who seem happiest today are often the ones who quietly focus on improving themselves rather than trying to change everyone else. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.